On February 29, 2072, a catastrophic radiation event in the Great Victoria Desert didn't just scorch the earth, it transformed humans into zombies. This day, known as the Fracture, marked the collapse of civilization. Fast forward to 2079, and survivors have sought refuge behind Defender's Ring, a towering 8-meter steel barrier surrounding what was once Melbourne, one of the world's last lines of defense against the infected. Recently, the infected breached the outer suburbs of Melbourne. Inspired by this, our cast and crew created Wasteland Wonders, a show dedicated to helping fellow survivors not just survive, but thrive in this harsh new world. Good morning and welcome back to Wasteland Wonders. To all you survivors, my name is Sabrina Tan, and today we are here to, say it with me, help you thrive and survive. In today's episode, we will be looking at how to make a mean makeshift shelter, some passionate claymaking, essential camping 101, and how to not only defend your home, but also stay up to date with the latest apocalypse-appropriate interior. And not only that, but coming up, we will also have the pleasure of interviewing Micah, a passionate camping enthusiast who will give us a little more information on how to set up camp in the apocalypse. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Grime & Grace, your go-to skincare solution for the zombie apocalypse. Because sure, the world's breaking apart, but that's no reason to let your face do the same.
A word from today's sponsor, Grime & Grace, your go-to skincare solution for the zombie apocalypse. Because sure, the world's gone to hell, but that's no reason to let your face do the same. Radiation, blood, and constant terror can really affect your complexion. Your skin's definitely seen better days. But with Grime & Grace, you'll be glowing like it's day one of the apocalypse. We're talking hydration that lasts through bunker showers, mutant dust storms, and let's be real, getting zombie guts all over you. For the days when you really want to treat yourself, try the Zombie Exfoliator. It scrubs away dirt, grime, and let's be honest, the remains of your dead friend Sam. Because when you're dodging death every day, self-care matters. Because it's not just about survival, folks, it's about thriving. You may be covered in blood, but at least your pores are clean. Grime & Grace, for when the world's dead, but your skin doesn't have to be. Order now and we'll throw in our Afterlife Anti-Aging Serum, because even if you're bitten, it doesn't mean you need to look like it. Dial 44589 Grime & Grace and use the code WASTELAND to get 41% off your first order with additional purchases.
Hey everyone, how are we doing today? Yeah? Amazing. I know I'm not doing too well. My 10 Dalmatians have all been zombified and I just got my bike stolen last night. But I suppose we have got to just roll with the punches. On to pressing news. Zombie infection rates have been at an all-time high ever since the main mob broke through Defender's Ring and overthrew almost all of the major cities throughout the world. But let's all take a moment to appreciate how small things in life are worth living. It is important to focus on the small wins and stay positive, especially since the state of the apocalypse is the worst it has ever been. Now, I would like to hand it over to fearsome foragers, Tyson and Jack, to teach us all about how to build a makeshift shelter in the wilderness with the resources. Take it away, Tyson and Jack.
Hi everyone, welcome to Makeshift Shelters with myself, Tyson, and Jack. Today we're going to be showing you how to make shelters.
Why do we need a makeshift shelter, Tyson?
Well, shelters can keep you protected from elements such as the rain, sun and wind, along with insects and unwelcome visitors.
Zombies.
Exactly. A good shelter can sometimes provide you with camouflage. Speaking of which, Jack, did you hear about the survivor that covered their shelter in camouflage? They wanted to avoid a biting critique from the zombies.
And you wonder why a pre-apocalyptic stint in stand-up didn't work.
That's hardly true. Pun-loving camouflage enthusiasts like me make great comedians. Our jokes always leave you wondering where they came from.
Anyway, shelters don't just shield you physically. They have psychological benefits as well. They create a sense of security.
The first step to creating a makeshift shelter is to find a dry, flat area. Also find materials to help elevate you off the ground, such as cardboard, tarp, or blankets.
Now, a lot of your heat is lost through the ground.
That's why you need to rise to the occasion. I know I will. It's just my altitude.
Anyway, you want to look for a spot that has some natural protection. You know, something to keep you safe from the elements. A large rock or a tree, something can form one side of your shelter. Next, find one long stick or branch and shorter sticks. Take the long branch and lean it against a rock or tree at roughly a 45-degree angle. Place the shorter sticks evenly out at an angle around the longer sticks.
Remember, smaller shelters are better. The more space inside the shelter, the colder it will be. Also, smaller shelters make for better quality shelters.
Now, if you want to save time by making a smaller structure, you can spend more time building up the walls and the roof to be thicker and withstand and protect you better from the elements.
Then, place leaves and branches on top of the frame you've created. Don't forget to keep a space for an entryway to your shelter.
So, Tyson, what can you do to make a structure more stable?
Well, for starters, if you have rope on hand, you can use it to tie the sticks together to create more stability. Next, it's important to look for any weak points and leaks within the shelter. If you find any, fix them right away. For leaks, I find it's best to chuck a tarp over the shelter, if you have some, of course.
Now, this is an example of a lean-on hut. Make it by piling up sticks against a pre-existing structure. Another example is a debris hut, but we didn't have time to make one of those today.
Now, a debris hut is trickier to make as compared to the lean-on hut right here, but it's still perfectly fine as a makeshift shelter.
For sure. However, we want to remind our viewers, this talk about shelters shouldn't cause you to underestimate the advantage of finding a safe place to stay, especially in a pre-existing structure like a house or a school.
Absolutely. If they're available and zombie-free, definitely take it. Well, that's all for today.
Thanks for watching, and back to the studio with you, Sabrina.
Thank you, Tyson and Jack, for that helpful tutorial. Do you guys need a bit more information on building shelters or camping in general? Well, look no further, as here with us today we have Micah, our local camping enthusiast and survivor. Welcome, Micah.
Oh, thank you, Sabrina. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
It's our pleasure. So, can you describe an ideal camping spot?
Well, an ideal camping spot for me would be something reasonably flat where I can set out my shelter, because if it's a bit hilly, you might end up on a tree root and have a very uncomfortable night's sleep, and you won't be able to have any energy for escaping zombies in the morning, and you might end up a bit like breakfast for them.
That's right, no breakfast for zombies. Well, how has your approach been to camping that has changed in the post-apocalyptic world? And what new skills or strategies have you developed?
Well, something that has changed for me is now I have to be constantly aware. Before the apocalypse, I was able to just relax and do my own thing, but now I always have to have that sixth sense about me, keeping an ear out for zombies, and now I sort of have to move my shelter. Normally I'll just be able to put it at the bottom of a valley where it's nice and safe, but now I also have to be thinking about advantage points and not just what's comfortable for myself.
That's right, advantage points, very crucial. And what are some essential items you can always bring on a camping trip?
Well, I personally won't go anywhere without my trusty pocket knife, and I also carry about a 6-inch fillet knife in case any zombies come near me.
That's right,
Yeah.
That's right.
And also a nice sleeping bag, because even if my shelter isn't great, if I have a nice, thick, warm thermal sleeping bag, and it should be at least, -7 degrees, because it can get pretty chilly out there, I think that's the best way to keep safe.
That's right, comfy in the apocalypse, essential. Can you share a survival tip or trick you've learned through your camping experience that our viewers might find useful?
Well, one trick would be, like I said before, always constantly be aware. And another one is you have to be prepared for every single situation. So even if I might be going out fishing or hunting, I'd always still bring canned food, because sometimes you don't know how long it'll be till you'll be able to get back at the main base. And you always have to have full energy to escape zombies and just be perfectly safe. I mean, it's pretty dangerous out there.
That's right, it's pretty dangerous. Just bring everything. And what would be some tips or some tricks for some survivors who don't have any access to any camping equipment?
A good one would be, try and find some form of protection, because if you're out there by yourself, you've got no shelter, no sleeping bag, no nothing, you're going to be dinner. So you need to bring at least some form of protection. That could be a steel pipe, something, to just bash them with.
Bash them
And
with
then
it.
also some sort of maybe a knife, and any forms of sleeping equipment. So even if you don't have a sleeping bag, just like a blanket or anything you have lying around the shelter, I mean, if it's that bad, you can just raid a camping supply shop. I don't think they'll mind.
Yeah, loot a camping supply shop, do not be breakfast or dinner for any zombies.
Yep.
Well, have you had any near-death experiences while camping in the apocalypse? And what did you learn from them to improve your camping skills?
Well, a while ago, I was out by myself, which is a bit silly. You know, you always should have some friends with you or someone who's got your back. And I brought absolutely nothing with me. I probably had about 6 beers in me. I was pretty tired, wasn't thinking up there, and I brought absolutely nothing. And I could hear the zombies coming for me, so I was scared. I had to hide up in a tree until day came, and then I was able to safely get home. So that's when I learned, always go out with mates, be sober, and always be prepared.
That's right. Back again to bring everything. Well, thanks for those helpful tips, Micah. I'm sure we will all be sleeping well tonight with that information. Now, let's explore the joys of clay making and with M times artistry with the one and only Master of Destruction, Handmaiden Hamish. He's here to help guide us through the steps to making and creating beautiful things with clay.
Bonjour! Welcome back to End Times Artistry. Avec moi, I'm your host, Hamish, and today I'll be teaching you guys how to sculpt clay and make it into something genuine. Oh, so you've realized my arm is in a stylish looking sling. This is because of a recent zombie mishap, but my prodigy Liam will be helping me out with the demonstrations today. You must be wondering, where is he right now? Well, while I'm all cozy in my studio right now, Liam is out in the wilderness grabbing the very first ingredients for the clay. And now we have our clay ready.
Here you are, Mr. Handmaiden, sir.
And this right here is our Al Natural clay.
Here you go.
Merci, my little prodigy. Now, you can make whatever you would like with your clay. You can create to your heart's content. Pour moi, today I will be making an un petit serving plate. Now, to begin, grab your clay and flatten it on a round oval shape. If you have a rolling pin, c'est très bien. And make sure the clay is ½ an inch thick. Okay, so next up, using the leaf that Liam has collected, place it onto the clay to make an imprint. Once you have made your imprint, use something sharp, like a knife, to cut around the outline. Now, to add some decorations, we are going to be using some pebbles and rocks. Be creative, let your personality shine through. And for today, I had Liam scrounge for some rocks for us. And now, what we'll do is we'll wait for the clay to dry. Now, there you have it. Something fabulous to add a little pizzazz to your home and to brighten your day. Merci beaucoup, and thank you for watching. And hopefully I'll see you next time if I don't turn green. Back to you, Sabrina.
Wow, simply stunning. A piece like that will spruce up any home, no matter if it's made of wood or canvas. Beautiful as always, Hamish. And what a perfect segue into this next segment. Welcome to Defensive Decor with me, your host, Sabrina. With calamity and carnage out there and zombies everywhere, learn how to make your home protected yet dapper with these simple DIYs. First up, we've got multi-DIY purpose designs. Here, I have a sword. That is an apocalypse essential, but obviously looks like a weapon. To make it discreet, we can stick it in a vase, hiding it with some foliage to add color and elegance to your home, and a fortified touch. Voila! The stick is hidden in plain sight, and the arrangement adds a touch of personality to your home. If you're like me, and your home could do with a bit more decor, here's a project for you to brighten up your place and also stay safe. Go out and look for some toxic plants. I went out earlier and collected this one. This is a Toxica Killus, a plant that when ingested is deadly. So when you've got zombies around, just chuck a leaf in their mouth and voila, dead. Not only are these bad boys toxic to humans and zombies, but they also look gorgeous. Their bright green leaves can spruce up any place and make you feel at home. Next, we need to... What? Wait, what's that sound? Wait, okay. It isn't looking good, guys. Just remember what the show's taught you throughout the show, and just remember to stay tuned to stay